All right, we're looking at the last week here of our Wizard Captain Dwarf and Deceased Black Knight game. Wizard and the Captain are taking this one away. The Captain is scoring tons of points. He's winning every category, which is sort of wacky. Even spells because of his demon consult. Took the spells and took the hit. I actually do like that rule that you have to, that there's no gaining a chit to cast. You have to give up chits because he gave up a move in a fight, which is actually fairly significant. But he's not really the main fighter in his party anyway. The main dudes would be the guard and his young knight here, pikeman. So he really is sort of taking it away a little bit. The wizard also doing a great job, but really needs to get some spells under his belt, I think, to, I'd love to get some spells. I'd love to get some gold, maybe steal a couple points from the captain. But we have 10 points in cards. So that's pretty big, pretty important there. And, so the dwarf, I think, just had a bad run of luck because we were sort of banking on the cavern and or the caves to be lucrative, maybe pop the lost city in there, something like that. That didn't happen. The lost city is down here and all of the treasures in the maps. So just not a great board setup for our dwarven friend here. So so we're just trying to, make do a little bit and score as many points as possible. I do think that he probably goes for his lost castle cache. This is a super dangerous run to get bridge magic completed, but if he could, then he could jump down to here and get. So I think we're going to try to do that. But first, before we do anything for our last week, let's get our last 3 events out the door here. So let's see what this is going to look like. So the Inquisition. So it's going to last for the last week, and you can join the Inquisition and kill a demon or imp. Sell the order any item with black magic. Perform a quest wounding 2 asterisks of magic. If you do not have it, you tithe 6 gold. That's pretty easy, actually. There you go. Or you can speak out against the Inquisition and try to fight the Order. Good frickin' luck with that, pal. Banditry. So we're going to have to roll for that one to see where it is. And the Dwarf. Dwarf appears in the dwelling. Costs $6 to hire. Let's pull our Dwarf out. And the Bandits. So Bandits there. Dwarf Pathfinder here. One of these days I'll rearrange these. Let's put the Dwarf Pathfinder in a spot. Let's put him in the chapel. Dwarf Pathfinder's down here, hanging out with the Inquisition. The Bandits go in one of 6 spots. 2 outside the house. So the Bandits here's the house, so they go outside the house. So we're going to take the top 3 rogues that currently exist. So that's 1, 2, 3, and they decide to park here and fight anybody coming in. So, technically the dwarf could take care of that too. These guys are not trivial. Got to be a little bit careful. If this guy flips, oof, that could be rough. And this guy, no one can undercut him but this dude. So as long as this dude stays, the archer stays, fumbling to knock his arrow, we're in good shape. Soon as he turns, we're probably in trouble. Now, the only other problem with that fight is simply the fact that, let's go to the dwarf here, we don't have a lot of fast attacks. So we are not undercutting anybody for any reason. We're not going to be undercut. Duck will provide for us, but that's one where a couple buddies would help considerably. So, all right, that's it. We've set up for the last week, and let's do this. So, wizard is first. What the hell is the wizard trying to do? Find the large campfire. Insight is locate, so he can easily locate a spot. Easily locate a spot. Oh, and he has the lost pouch. So the first thing he's going to do is he's going to check the lost pouch. So lost pouch, we roll a D8, and it's that native group's money. 8, it's the Lancer's cash. So we either find the Lancers and hand the cash over, or not. We do a quest phase, which is what we're going to do. We're going to do a quest phase to open the pouch. That's fine. And I truly do think that I would love to end up and get this ultra. The bats are the big problem. Bats are a rough haul for our guy, because they're not even a guarantee with sleep. Although but there's 3 of them. They're not guaranteed. We're not guaranteed to hit them. Why does that not? Can I move that little thing there? There we go. Good enough. I don't know why there's not a magnet point on there, but there wasn't. So okay. So I think for the wizard, I think the goal this last week is to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in a couple days, he should be able to make his way to the altar. And if he does so, there's 2 spells for him to pick up. And he could pick those up. The danger being bats. That is true. But we do have sleep ready to go, so that will help us. Keeping in mind we get an extra move phase. So that quest phase to open the pouch, and then 1, 2 will get us here, and then 3 will get us to 6. Now the problem we have is that the trolls are back out and about. I would rather not meet them if I don't have to. We can sleep them now. So maybe that's what we go with, is just sleeping them. Because once you put the quick boots on, you're not getting that extra move phase, right? So we're trying to get there as fast as possible. We can get there in 2 days. It's dangerous to do that, but we get there in 2 days if we just book it. But if we put the quick boots on, all of a sudden it's 1, 2, 3 days at best. If we hit the trolls, though, well, I mean, we're not going to be able to run from them. These little guys are too fast. He's too fast. Trolls are fast and ugly, and I actually don't know that we have any recourse against those trolls if they show up. So, sleep. We can sleep them. So we have one day of recourse. So I'm gonna book it this turn. I'm gonna go move, move, and move into the Borderlands, and we're gonna end up in 1, 2, and then we're gonna use quest phase. Well, we quest phase here and then here, because we're only gonna get 2 phases. because of the cave. So we're going to make it to 3. Now, are the dragons back? The dragons are dead. So there you go. So we're going to make it to Borderlands. We only get 2. Oops. Quest. Ouch. Move and then extra move. And that's going to be to Borderlands 3. That's the lair. Move lair. There we go. And we're really hoping to not run into the trolls. Now, if we don't do the quest, we can go 1, 2, 3 and end up in 6. And that might be preferable. So let's not open the pouch right now. Let's do an extra move. Let's do an extra move, and then we'll end up in Borderlands 6. And then the pouch can wait. We're good. We're good to go. So there you go. So he's ready to roll. The captain's going to play his tiny hut. Visitor in the mountains. So we're going to take the crone. Since if there is one, you have to play. So we could put her in any mountain clearing we would like. And, well, I suppose we don't really care. But we might as well put her closer to us than farther. So we're going to put her in this mountain clearing. I always put them beside to show that they're quote unquote living there. So that just gets this card out of the way. Done. And we're going to get Envoy. Again. I think we had Envoy before. So Captain has big game, so he has to kill some bats. Which he could. I mean, but we got to find some bats. Gotta kill some bats. Enchanter. We're not going to do Enchanter, and we're probably not going to do Envoy at this point. So we need to figure out, is there any place we can turn cards in? Otherwise, man, we're going to sort of give the wizard. Then it's the wizard's game to win. If the wizard can score 3 points or take some points off of us, he's gonna get there. I would say does the captain have a way to open the vault? I don't think we don't have a way to open the vault. I say we book it north. 1, 2, 3, potentially 4. These little trolls are not great for our. They're okay until they turn, but we can kill them. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna go to Borderland 1. So that's my goal for the captain. Is we're gonna move, and then move BL1. Our guys are following. We're just gonna keep that up. The dwarf. The dwarf, I think, is going to hide twice and then move up into the ledges. And that's going to be his turn. So that's it. So we are ready for day 22. We're going to get a monster roll here. Let's get this going. It is a 1. So dragons are in play. And it is wizard first. So the wizard is going to move 1, 2, 3, and that's what he does. And nothing appears because those dragons are dead. The dwarf is going to go up here. He's going to hide, though. He hides twice. He fails once, so it's good that he hid twice, I suppose. He hides the second time. Roar 4 might bring something in the mountains. Let's check. Nope, Roar is caves. And otherwise, Slither, maybe. Let's look at Slither. Oh, yeah, Slither's going to bring a bunch of crap out. That's not ideal, by the way. So Slither 3 is first, so that's this guy. And then Slither 6 is that guy. I mean, they're all killable. I'd rather not fight this guy, these guys. These guys are a little too fast. The dwarf doesn't have a good recourse right now against them. This just makes this hex way more dangerous for us, for our plan here. And now the captain. The captain's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and he is done. And nothing there. There you go. So that's the first day of this last week. Second day of this week. Let's see. So the wizard's on the move. He's on the move to the altar. And he can go 1, 2, 3. He could make it all the way, but he probably I say we're gonna hide and go 1, 2 into the ledges. We're gonna hide. We're gonna be a little bit careful. We'll probably swap out our boots here in a minute. Captain still's looking for that big game. Actually, we have some right here. These guys, I mean, that's one dude, so we can probably take him right out. Now, I don't think we actually, those are not clearings that we got the green side clearings, so we can't actually navigate there that easily. And this guy is non-trivial. This dude here. 1, 2, 3. You could end up there hidden. We really want to get to the heavies because I want to kill the heavies. 1, 2. We can't. I mean, there's no running through there, right? I think this guy is killable. No, well, a little dangerous. A little dangerous. I think he's killable on the tremendous side by the guard because we will match his time, undercut him on this side. So I think this guy's an auto kill, but sort of, it's an awkward auto kill. You have to get grabbed. This guy is dangerous round 1. So why don't we hide for the captain? Why don't we hide and then move into the dragon? It's not quite where we want to be, but let's start there and see what happens. And then finally the dwarf. I think he hides twice, and then he's going to move into the bats. Move into the bats. And that might get him bridge magic. And that's going to allow him to escape that clearing, actually. All right, so day 23 it is. We're going to get another monster roll. 4, so giants and trolls. Let me make sure I'm shuffled. Captain's first, and he's following. Done. Captain hides. We need the hide to be successful, and it is. Captain hides and goes 1, 2, 3 in there. And so then the question is, does Roar 4 bring anything? I think it does. But only in caves. Oh, no. Giants in the mountains. So, bam. There you go. And he is done. The wizard is hiding once and moving into the ledges also. So he's going to hide one time. He does. And he goes 1, 2. And he is stuck there. Nothing else appears. And he is done. Dwarf is hiding 2 times. He fails once. This is actually a death roll now, I think. Oh, he fails twice. And walks right into there. And he's got bridge magic, so he does make it. We'll put that on his sheet because it might be important with the death. He actually got 3 points. 3 cards. But he failed 2 hide rolls and then ended up in there. And I don't think he has any recourse for these guys. I don't think he has any recourse for that fight. So let's do the good fights. The fights that aren't going to be too much of a problem. The wizard will probably get rid of this giant because it's sort of in his way. So we are hidden currently, remember that. And because we are hidden, we can cast Flame Sword, targeted on ourselves, and that's not a problem. We might have to roll ambush, and we do, so we are still hidden. So that's going to give us a light star sword. We're going to up that to medium star, which is tremendous damage at a time 3. So I always turn this red because it's flame. I mean, don't ask me why. But so this is an auto kill for the wizard with Flame Sword on. So he casts Flame Sword is on, and he kills the giant because he can only undercut the giant with tremendous damage. That club's not on him. As long as we're hidden. So we get the crappy 8 points. It's not going to do us any good, of course, until the damn dwarf dies because he failed 2 hides. Two guys dead in a game is not a good number. This fight. Do we care about this fight? Are we doing this fight? So what you would do is you would wait for the end of round 1. So everybody remains hidden. Round 2, you gang tackle the dragon on your T4 side. Now this head is still dangerous because you can still kill a guy if he lines him up. So I say we actually just hold off and we're not going to bother. And that's going to lead us to this fight. And this fight, I think, is a death for the dwarf. So you got the dwarf alone fighting all of these dudes. I mean, none of them can kill him outright except for this guy Flip. Having said that, this guy doesn't auto hit him, and these guys do. So I think we're gonna. I hate to say it. I think we're gonna go for this guy first, and hope for the best with everyone else. And these guys auto hit him, so that really, really sucks. So he's gonna duck. He's gonna play whatever he's gonna play up here. Although weapon length is first today, so that's good. This round. Let's see what happens. 1. So that's cool. These guys are going to shift. That guy is going to stay right up here. And what we're looking for is the spider to not flip, and he doesn't. But we want these bats to flip. If these bats flip, they don't. Shit. Okay. So we have we had less of a chance. So we hit first. He's dead. So that's 1 wound not taken. This is a miss, so he is done. The bats, though, both undercut us and they both wound us, and that is the crux of the badness here. So what I'm going to do, since we're never going to undercut any of these guys, I'm going to wound. We don't need tremendous chits. I'm going to wound this one. I'm going to wound this chit. So 2 wounds, no fatigue, and we are ready for the next round. So I'm going to put him there, and again, I'm going to look. Now the problem is we do get hit faster, and so we're taking 2 wounds no matter flipping what. And that's the shitty part. Doesn't matter if we're covering our move or not. Um, so in this case, we take 2 wounds no matter what. If we do something like this, then I think you take 2 wounds no matter what. Because then this guy will potentially hit you, right? Now, the only way, so if these guys flip, you have a 1/3 chance for this not to happen, or maybe a 1/6 chance. Because if this guy happens to, so if we play this, then the de facto a 4 is the perfect roll because the 4 means that he intercepts you, but she's going to hit you anyway. And then he doesn't intercept you. And then you would take a single wound. But you can do that here too if indeed, if this guy flips, like you're either looking to make it so the bat's the one that intercepts you and you take a wound here and you kill this guy. So in this case, a 4. You're looking for a 4. A 1's okay, but you take 2 wounds. Anything else is is 3 wounds potentially. Oh, I don't love any of these. These all suck. All this sucks. We do need to kill this guy no matter what. And the funny part is this guy, unless he flips, is going to hit us anyway. So that's the other thing to keep in mind also. So I suppose I could magically run these through if I really thought of it and give myself the quote unquote best chance. Ideally, what we want is these freaking bats to flip. And if this bat flips and we kill this guy, we'll take this wound potentially, and not. Let's. Yeah, he's still going to hit us first. We're just going to go like this. Let's hope for a 4. And a 1. So these guys switch. And we're hoping for the bats to flip. And if the bats flip, we're going to take less damage. So nice. So he's going to flip and he's going to miss us and we're going to hit him. So good. If the spider flips, we're dead. Oh, okay. He doesn't flip. So good. And if this other bat flips, then that's the best possible round we could have had. And he doesn't. That sucks. So this guy misses. This guy hits us and does a wound. This guy hits us and does a wound. And then we kill this bat. So we're going to take 2 wounds again. And we're going to kill this bat. So I'm going to say this is going to be a wound. This is going to be a wound. And there you go. Done. We have to play duck here. I'm sorry. So that is the problem. We can only play. So oh, wait. So ignore that mistake because what I would have done is just move this. That's really all we're doing is just moving this. So it's not a four. It's something else. We are not covering our move in this case to maximize. And it almost worked, but not quite. Um, so let's see what happens here. It's a two, so that's great. Does the spider flip and end this madness? He does, and that's it. We are dead. Does the bat flip and he does? So the sucky thing is, if he didn't flip, we win this combat. In this particular time, we could win this combat because the bat flipped. We'd have killed him. He'd have missed. We'd have taken a single wound, which we could have taken. Um, we'd have taken the move T5, played Potion of Energy, played our fight H4, and guaranteed, either a miss or we hit this guy and first and kill him. But the spider flips at the last moment. We're going to kill the bat first because we have a longer weapon. So we actually kill all the bats, but then the spider gets off one good shot and tremendous hits the dwarf. And the dwarf is dead. And that really, really sucks. I have not had a game where I've killed two characters off in a long time. So we are dead. Oh, he did score bridge magic too, strangely enough. So we are dead. Oh, and I don't have the quests up because I was doing another thing. So hold on. So there we go. So those are our dead guys. That's it. Okay. All right. So, um, this all goes and gets dropped into the discard pile there. We close up the dwarf. Oh, this stuff all ends up here. Put the dwarf chip back on the dwarf and the helmet. Close up his thing. So that's going to make a and we just have the spider because everything else actually got taken care of. It's just that guy. And he munches on a dwarf corpse. And we can get rid of that. This is a very somber game. uh So okay, all right. Well, yeah, such is life. We can delete these because they no longer really matter. And that's it. We are ready to roll here. Yeah, I don't think the captain's fighting here. The wizard takes care of his guy. So be it. And now it is time for our day 24 move. So the wizard is moving into the altar. He will hide. This is an extra move. So there you go. He's going to hide and he's going to search, search, search in hopes of finding the altar in that last week. And then the captain. So I don't love this, but I think it's okay if we do it. But I don't love it. The only problem would be the dragon showing up. We're going to just walk into the 3 hex. We're just going to walk right in. So we're going to move 3, and then we're going to be blocked. And we don't know that we're going to be blocked, but I'd rather be blocked there than... And we can use our Dragon Tooth if we have to stop a fight. So I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to instead, we're going to hide once. We're going to rest once. We're going to move into 3. And if we do get caught here, we're going to utilize our Dragon Tooth to stop at least part of this fight. And that gets us to day 24. So let's get these last 2 guys moving here. Let's get a monster roll. Let's see what's what. 3. So goblins should be okay. Captain's first. Wizard is second. So the captain is going to hide. He'd rather succeed because he wants to get to where he's going, and they do. And he goes here. And I don't think that Patter's Mountain's not going to do anything. So it's the wizard's turn. The wizard goes here. I think he is trying to hide also. He hides once. And he does. And then he's going to search 3 times. So he needs a 4 or a 1 to find the altar. That's a failure. That's 1. That's 2 fails. And 3 failures. And so he is done. And then we're going to manage this battle here. So remember, the captain has the coolest short sword right now ever known to man. I just don't know where it is. There it is. Okay. So he has L star star. So if he plays M star star, he's still killing this thing. So he doesn't even need to... Oh, and he rests because he hid. So he's going to pull that back. So I'm going to say for round 1, hidden, right? We're going to play this. And if this guy doesn't flip, we're going to kill him. So let's start with that. He stays put. He flips, but he stays put. So we're going to intercept him and kill him and fatigue one of these chits. Done. And so that's 5 points for the captain. He has not yet completed big game. He has to return to a dwelling, but he has killed his heavy. And we're going to put that in the dead pile. And I don't think anything appeared. Yeah, nothing appeared. So we are done. We're done with the day. Yeah, this last week's going to blow by with everybody dead. So let's keep that in mind. Oh, and you know what? I often forget. I'm going to do the wizard a solid here, and he's going to find sudden. He's going to sudden insight the altar, and he's going to do that on this phase. So, oh, geez. So he extra moved into the altar. He hid. He searched and insight. And then he searched and searched. So I am going to give him the benefit of the doubt there. and he finds the altar. And so now he has a decision to make whether he wants to loot the altar or whether he's going to read runes. I think let's read runes. He rolls 1 die instead of 2. So read runes, he's going to do it at least once, if not twice. But let's do it. So he's looking for a 3, 2, or 1 here. 50-50. 3. So he learns and awakens this type 3 spell. So let's get objects out. My fault. I'm sorry for retconning that, but sometimes it's hard for me to keep track of like the boons and stuff sometimes. So this is the type 3 spell that's going to go on that deck, and it is Persuade. So we're going to copy Persuade. We're going to give it to our So there you go. So that is a learned spell. Learned, not learned. It hasn't learned anything. And so we can delete that card. This one is the one that goes on the bottom now. So he read runes once, and he's going to read runes again. So let's get our objects here. Let's get our type 2 deck. So we'll pull that. This can get deleted. And so this is the spell, and he has one more read runes. And again, we're looking for 3, 2, or 1. No 5s. That'd be nice. And he gets a 3. So he learns and awakens 2 spells. And he gets Warp Wood. So we're going to copy Warp Wood. I'm going to put it on top of there. Warp Wood's great if you're killing the Lancers. If your goal is to kill certain native groups or goblins or whatever, it is a winner. So he pops 2 spells. And that's going to change our scoring considerably. So that was successful for the wizard. And now he can pull he can pull another card, which is Arsonist. So his Arsonist done. Okay. So now let's write our day here. So I say for the wizard, we do hide and then we'll search 3 times. Maybe we'll loot this once or twice. We're looking for a great treasure, really, to be honest. I'm going to rest once, though, to get my type 2 back. That would be important. The captain. So the captain needs to return to a dwelling, of course. And the question is, what dwelling can we get to? Probably we can get to the inn. This is probably a day. 1, 2, 3 is a day. 1, 2 is a day. 1, 2, 3, 4 a day. We can get there, I think. 1, 2, 3. That's as good as you can get. 1, 2. 1, 2. That's 3 days, though, all of a sudden. And then 1, 2, 3. So I think you can make it, but you are literally running down to the end of the game. So you're probably just getting big game turned in. So that's a little bit of a dicey, and we need to hide. If we get blocked, so let's hide, and then we go 1, 2, 3. So our goal is to get to ledges 4. So hide, and then move 4. That is our goal. And I mean, we don't have quite the same Whereas you might go, well, why isn't he studying the Black Book? Well, because you can get cursed and lose your prowess points, or you know what I mean. Like that's a danger for like the captain. Um, so okay, let's get a monster roll here for this. So it's goblins again. So day 25, we're ready to roll here, and it's going to be the wizard first, captain second. So wizard is going to hide once, and he does, and he's going to rest once. That's going to pull this type 2 back because we need it for flame sword. And then we're going to search 2 times. We're going to loot the altar. We're looking for low numbers, of course. That is too high. We need a 4 or less to get anything out. And we do pull a 4. So we're going to take the 6 card from the deck. It is the Regent of Jewels. Is the altar only big treasure. So that is super freaking cool for him. He gets an extra trade phase. Pointless, but it's going to give him 2 great treasure points instead of 1 great treasure point. So that strategy has worked out. The wizard is stealing points from the captain as we speak. And the captain is going to hide. Needs this to succeed. It does. He goes 1, 2, 3, and he is there. So I think the wizard. So again, we're talking the last. So let's look at the score. Let's look at where we're at. Okay. So the wizard has. Now I'm still counting the dwarf's totals. I'm still okay with his totals being live. He is dead, and I should pull him out, of course. Right. So the Black Knight died so he's irrelevant. But the dwarf is still relevant because he's still essentially stealing one prowess point off the board. And we're going to give him that point and subtract 2 from his total. So the dwarf actually scores 2 points right now, even though he died. But let's look at the wizard. So the wizard has 21, 14 gold, 2 great treasures, and 2 spells. So if we look at the scores, what that's going to do to the scores is, and I think the 14 gold still puts him in second place. That's going to give him 15 points total. And it's going to knock the captain down to 6, 10, 12. So literally the wizard has just in the last week has stolen victory from the captain by swiping the great treasures and the spell total. Now the captain obviously has at least a chance, but he's stolen that. The captain, let's make sure, the captain has actually 97 prowess, 23 gold, 1 and 1. So the wizard's not going to take the prowess away. He's not going to score a prowess point, but he might steal a gold point because he's going to open the damn pouch. So it would be nice if somehow we could figure out a way to take some of that back here. So okay, let's get this going. And the only points the wizard probably can score now is, can you find the campfire? I don't. That's a rough haul. If it's here, you're not going to end a phase there. So I don't think he's finding any of this stuff. He doesn't like the Lancer's Company or Bash cars. He could go do Arsonist on the Company. He won't make it, though. So I think he's going to run. I think the wizard is going to run for it now. So he's going to, with his 7 league boots on, he's going to extra move and then move and move into the borderland. So he's going to end up in borderland 1, 2, 3, 6. He still has sleep, so he still has a get out of jail free card on trolls. So he's going to book it. He might be able to score arsonist. The captain would love to get back to any place, but he's going to be stopped because he does not have an extra move or anything like that. Like he has to slow run it. So 1, 2, he can go here. He can go to Borderlands 6 also. And he's going to move to BL6, but I don't think he's going to, but he's not going to be able to do anything extra. So let's do day 26. Let's get a monster roll. If it's a 4, that's going to be interesting. No, it's a 3 again. So more goblins, but that means nothing. Goblins are all out. So it's the wizard first. The wizard goes 1, 2, 3, and he goes 1, 2. So they both end up the same place. And nothing's going to happen there. So the captain can get to, so the wizard can get to extra move, and that will put him in the valley. That will put him 1, 2, 3 in valley 4. And that gives him maybe a day. So the problem is he needs to execute a quest phase, but that gives him maybe a day to or burn down the company's supplies. The captain, on the other hand, cannot move so quickly because he has to. And remember, because we just entered this clearing, the only way we can run, right? Because the tip is you run out of the cave clearing, and that way you are good for the next day. Can't do that when you're trying to move forward. You can only go backwards that first day you run. So we're going to go 1, 2 and end up in Borderland 2. So this is really hurting us here. Move, BL2. And we are done with that day, and it's day 27. We need a monster roll, and we need an order of play. Dragons come up. And we're going to get the captain first, wizard second. The captain goes 1, 2. The wizard goes 1, 2, 3. And good enough. And so the last day, the both of them can reach. So the wizard is going to execute a quest phase to try to steal gold. Move to the inn, hide and search, and he can do if he gets 1, right? So 1, 2. Oh, he has to move twice to get to the inn. So that is not. So this is an extra move, and then a move to the inn, and he gets 1 shot at the arsonist effectively. Sure, I'll take it. The captain. So he's going to move, and I think move. So what do you got? 1, 2, 3 moves to the end, because that's going to give him. So he moves. His third move is to the end. That's going to give him big game. He's going to turn in big game. And then I say he trades. Now, no one there he likes. That is true. I think he's going to trade. Well, he has an extra phase, so he's going to trade. And he'll do 2 trade phases. in the case that he can sell, maybe he gets a breastplate, or something he can sell, or he gets another shield, he'll want to sell it. And we'll have to figure out his gold total. So that's it. Day 28 gold magic in every clearing. Our 2 monster rolls, sort of pointless, but we'll get our 2 monster rolls here. And it's a 6 and a 2. So bats and serpents and demons. So that's going to bring back a lot of crap. So we have 1, 2, and then the 3 bats. Bam. So there you go. Bats come back. Serpents and demons come back. Technically, the wood folk return. Done, done, and done. And doesn't really matter, but the wizard's going to go first. So the wizard's going to go in. He does a quest phase first, so he gets to pull 3d6 gold. And he's going to lose a relation with, I think, the Lancers. Yeah, we don't care. So 8, nope, 7 gold, 7 plus. 7 plus 6, so that's 13 gold. So he pulls the pouch. He gets 13 gold. That's going to give him 27 gold, which for now is going to steal another point from our hapless captain. Because he's currently winning gold now. We did hide. We tried to hide, I should say. Come on, get this die. There, come on, die. There we go. So we did hide. So let's roll it. If we get a 6, then our day is over. We do not, and we get 1 search to do arson. We're going to pick petty revenge on the company. So a 4 or a 1 will score us a point, and he does get it. He actually completes arsonist on the last day. Arson. Petty revenge on the company. So that's going to give him his 11th card point. And he gets one of their treasures. So he's going to pick the bottom one. Why the hell not? And it is penetrating grease. So pointless, but he did get it. And that's the end of his game. The captain's going to bolt on up there. So the captain blows on up there. He does get, so he turns in big game, so that'll give him his 7th point of cards. So 7th card point. And so then the question is, can he, and he gets an item. So he rolls 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. We're hoping for, I actually don't know what we're hoping for. 6, so he gets a breastplate. So that's cool. And so he's going to trade then with, I suppose it doesn't matter, the rogues. So let's trade the rogues. We're looking for anything but trouble, since we're neutral. It's the only thing that can stop us is trouble. And even that could possibly not stop us. 1, so we can trade with the rogues. We're going to sell this shield to the rogues. I'm just going to put it aside. That's $7. So we do add $7. Aha! That's still not enough because we're going to lose. We're going to lose $5 for our helmet loss here. So we have $30. Is our dragon tooth worth anything? We'll sell it too if we need to. I just need to find the darn thing. 5 gold. We're going to sell the Dragon Tooth also while we're here. So that will give us 35. So we're going to sell that to the rogues also. So we ditch that. And so that will probably, that's going to be enough. So game is over. Technically, we have to roll for the rogues, which we do get trouble this time. They don't block battle us, but they will challenge us. And we'll take the 5-point hit, so -5. And then the company's there also, which we don't love, and they're fine with us. So we end up with 92 prowess. We end up with 35 gold. We take a 5 gold piece penalty for the loss of the helmet. So that's going to bring us down to nothing. The wizard did not. I mean, I suppose he could have traded, but instead did his arson. So he was done. The captain sort of ekes out gold in the end, right? So the captain wins gold, does not win great treasures, does not win spells. Let's look at the scores for the final of the game here. So the captain is looking at 7 points, 9 points, 11, 12, 13 points. He scores 13. And the wizard scores 16 points. The Black Knight scores 0. Dead. He had 2 points when he died. And the dwarf is going to score an unfortunate total of 2. He had 4 points when he died. His prowess still actually holds up. So he's going to actually score 2 points in death. So that's it. That is the last of our second round of the Grand Prix. So let's take a quick look at the big scores here. Let's look at the big scores before we sort of wrap this round up. So the wizard is going to get 11 points. So we put a game on each of them. The wizard scores 11 points on cards, so that is 19 points in total. 0 prowess this game. Another point in gold, some gray treasures, and spells. So his total is 21, 23, 26, 29 points. So he still maintains the lead. So the wizard still on top. The Black Knight, we're going to credit him with 2 card points. Well, I mean, he died, right? So we're gonna subtract that from his card points. So 8 points. He scores 0 points this game. He's at 11.5, and that's going to put him just below the Berserker. Yeah, I'm going to take those deaths if you didn't score off of your card points, just instead of having an extra special column or whatever. The captain scores 7 points in cards, so he's at 14. He scored 2 more prowess, so 4. 2 more gold, so 2 points in gold. Oh, no, yeah, 2 points in gold, 1 point in great treasures, and 1 point in spells. That's super clever. And he should end up with 24 points. He has 20, 24. That's going to put him solidly in 4th place. Tie for 3rd, but I use cards as the tiebreaker when I can. And then the dwarf is scoring. He died, so we're going to give him 1 point in cards, so 7, and 1 point in prowess, 3. And so he ends up with a whopping 13 points. And that puts him below the White Knight, who's also died, by the way, in this game. And those are our rankings after 2. we definitely have some separation here for sure. 21 point separation between first and last place. Um, and strangely enough, I'm bad at the witch, so I can see that. I can see sort of where that ends up. So anywhere between 4 and 14.5 points a game. Interesting. So I need to really get my witch. So who died? Who's died? So we have a death, right? So I'm going to put a little asterisk beside the dead guys. So one, we got the White Knight. We have the Dwarf has died. The Black Knight has died, and the Witch has died. 4 people have died out of the 2 games. And I'll put a little note just to remind myself. Maybe maybe they get a catch up game. maybe I give them a game, um, just to see where they end up. Maybe my next 4 poster game is a White Knight, Dwarf Berserker, Black Knight, Dwarf Witch, and Black Knight. Be interesting. So I enjoyed this one a lot. Again, high scores. The captain's always good. So for the captain, it really comes down to, can you take advantage of that guard? I think he did. I think he did a very good job with the guard this time. It pretty much is, you can't hesitate, and you got to get enough money to hire him for a second term, to extend their term to the end of the game. He did. He kicked the hell out of pretty much everything that came his way. The wizard, the wizard's just solid. The wizard is, with the new spells, his chits, all his optional rules. He turns into a weird solo powerhouse. Um, so yeah, pretty happy with how that turned out. I'm not happy with the 2 deaths. I think the 2 deaths, um, for sure, the Black Knight was my fault, but the dwarf was just sheer bad luck. So that's where we're at. Again, thanks for hanging out and watching. We're going to end this one, and then we're going to maybe take a couple days off with the goal of adding maybe some new events and maybe some new quests. And, maybe we start thinking about, now PvP is going to be devastating, but maybe we start thinking about a PvP protocol for this game. Maybe we set some things up and set some alignments up, sort of, right? I mean, you can probably take their initial relationship and go, okay, how are these guys aligned to each other? Um, and then allow sort of a PvP rules. Since I'm playing myself, obviously, it's hard to then be uh, have hidden information and so on and so forth, right? So, um, so how do you determine who moves where and who moves how? And so on and so forth. And what I would probably do is I'd probably have certain rules of engagement as far as PvP goes. Um, what reasons are okay for PvP can be natural enemies, maybe greed, maybe envy because the guy's winning, that kind of thing. I want something you have. You're ahead of me in the game, or we are naturally opposed due to our our initial alignments with relationships with the natives. I can probably figure that out a little bit. It's a little clunky, but I can probably figure it out. And then at some point you have to declare one of those, right? And then at that point we have to roll off to see who has to write their move first. Um, since I am writing both moves, there's no hidden. I would have to go, okay, between these two, now that this guy has declared greed against this guy and he intends to attack him, I have to roll off, and this guy either moves first or he moves second. And the guy who wins the roll can choose, right? To write his move, after effectively so that he knows how to hopefully avoid the other guy. So it's a little bit of random luck there as far as that goes. And then for fighting, I think the answer would be that you would play randomly. You would have to roll to put their chits in a random spot. Now it's going to get super complicated with fucking monsters and natives and so on. That's a super rough haul. But I think you can find a way to randomize it so that it's not too you're not picking moves against yourself. That doesn't make a great deal of sense. So we're going to work on that over the next few days. But I would really like to, and so that gives, I really like to work on some new events and some new quests. If you have ideas, drop them in comments. I have another video that I made this morning asking for that. So drop them either in here or there, preferably, and then let's talk about it. Let's see what people come up with, what I come up with, and we'll go with that. So expect some games maybe next week. We'll start, and that's it. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye bye.